So, Tom, we took some painstaking roads to get here and make sure that dealers could do things quickly. They didn't have to do it just once a month. They needed to do it when they needed to do it. And then also, we wanted to make sure that there were many ways they could target the right customers, whether it was their end of their loan terms, into their lease terms, and get the right cars as well. I figured this would be a good time to just show off exactly what it looks like in the back end of our tool. This isn't something that dealers have to play with, but our people can do this for them on the fly anytime.
Yeah, not only do that, but every month when we do the review with the dealer, I mean, we'll actually make suggestions like, hey, if you're getting the lead flow that you want, if you want a little bit more, a little bit less, or higher quality, we can actually tweak this on a monthly basis to really deliver exactly what you want. Another kind of a key piece. Um, but yeah, what you're looking at here, and the question always is, well, Tom, you talk about all this automation. How do you guys actually do it? It's like, well, I'm glad you asked. And so the back end here, you see here end of loan settings. So you can see you can open the time window for whatever you want, right? How many months are left on the loan out to a maximum of how old do you want the customer to be? How many max miles do you want? So if you want a car without too many miles, you don't want to look at those. You don't want to consider those. We can pull those out. Maximum age, and then also minimum equity amounts, right? And do you want to do a true trade keys offer to that customer, or do you want some minimum cash down? So again, you as the dealer gets to maintain full control over what happens with your customer data, but it allows you to really quickly tune this. You can see in the next section down, end of lease, which is probably the easiest cherry pick, right, for those customers that have good lease portfolios, because they have to do something. At the end of that term, they're going to have to do something. So we made this really intricate. You can see here, same window of opportunity. Think about this for a second. When you really think about targeting lease customers, one of the things you don't think about, some of these cars actually come into an equity position almost midway through the lease. We always think in terms of end of lease and pull ahead, which is how most of them actually do terminate. But I will tell you, there's some special cars out there that are in high demand, that maintain high value, and you can pull them out sooner sometimes. So this thing is looking, if we set it up correctly, you can see right here, it's looking at 14 months out on the lease. And it won't send an offer unless the customer has equity. Think about that for a second. So you may have a lease car here that is, 14 payments away, but it's got equity. So you can set the equity amount what you want, right? So say it has to have at least 2 grand worth of equity. Estimate that way, you kind of got a cushion. You could really go after these customers, and they're still in their leases. And you talk about a thrilled customer, by the way. It's like, hey, I'm going to pull you out and put you in yet another new one. And we're 2 months or 2 years early in that lease, or a year and a half early in that lease. Pretty cool, actually. So this thing will do that. It'll literally spot those for you and pick them out. It doesn't wait for the very end. You'll also see there the maximum remaining payments threshold. So that is for the lease pull ahead programs. So if your manufacturer gives you a 3 month lease forgiveness, or a 6 month or a 9 month lease forgiveness, we just pop that in, and it actually takes that into the equation and starts to send every single one of those customers offers, because you can pull them out now. So there's all that really cool stuff that salespeople have to remember, or you have to remember when you're working it manually, that we just do automated out of the system. Last section to show you is the custom filters. And so you already saw how detailed we can get with all your end of loans, end of leases. But this section allows you to target vehicles that you would love to have on the used car lot. And that's any vehicle. It doesn't have to be your brand. So anytime you see this in your data, and this is your service data, your sales data, your conquest data, your cash deal data, we can literally target specific vehicles that you want to get aggressive on. You want to get those in. And any car that you put in this list is literally prioritized for the invites every single day. So not only can you, custom tailor this, but this data gets updated every 24 hours. You don't have to do a monthly campaign here. Like, this is literally updated every 24 hours because of our advanced technology and the way we process data. And so you can make these changes, and the very next day, it'll start to queue up the opportunities for your store.
This is super cool. When you find that little nugget of a vehicle that you just sold like 3 of them used and you weren't expecting those to go quickly, boom,
Yeah.
throw one in, see what you can pull out of your own database real fast.
Yeah. So to answer the question, yes, the automation works. And yes, you can do anything you want with your customer data.